Hi guys. So everyone in the world is pretty much aware that on the 17th of July, Donald Trump and Putin met in a private summit that lasted over 2 hours. Various speculation has come out of what happened in that meeting. Personally, I think Donald Trump was trying to get Putin's help in regards to what's happening back home. I have some thoughts around what I think Donald Trump is doing or trying to do, um, but it doesn't appear to really be working. The uh, the media and every political analyst from left to right is kind of pushing this in one direction. So it's interesting that all that news we're hearing about everything else, no one is talking about the 19-year veteran of the Secret Service, which died after suffering a stroke during President Trump's visit to the UK. The 42-year-old agent, identified as Noel E. Remagen, was on protection duty for National Advisor John Bolton during a Saturday midnight shift at the Turnberry Golf Resort in Ayrshire, Scotland, when he was found unresponsive. So no one's talking about that. And obviously, with everything that's going on, there's a. I've been talking about, the potential for something to happen to Donald Trump, and after that happens, things kind of collapse. As I said, it's like that piece in the Jenga tower that if you take away, the tower collapses. Everything's kind of resting on him, and he's kind of made it that way, with ending agreements and weakening alliances and stuff like that. So it's all part of their plan. Everyone is involved in the same plan. I don't think they all know the extent of their roles, but they're pretty much aware of what they're pushing towards. Their one world order, and the bringing forth of their antichrist one world religion. So have to be aware of that. Um, I'm not sure how reliable this source is. What does it mean.com, but looking at this website, it says a foreboding new Security Council report circulating in the Kremlin today says that President Putin has authorized the continued liquidation of all US dollars holdings as part of an accelerated plan for the Russian Federation to cut all ties with the West, most particularly due to the United States, where radical leftist deep state elements have declared that a state of war now exists between Russia and the US, only comparable to the 7th of December 1941, when the Japanese Empire launched a surprise attack on Pearl Harbor. And it's interesting that they're referencing a surprise attack, Pearl Harbor, which is in Hawaii, so you already know what I think is coming out of there. And in whose goal to hasten this conflict directly caused the death of a United States Secret Service USS Taster for President Trump this past weekend, and that was the Secret Service agent, which they're saying here died of a stroke. But according to this report, he died after, well, he's a taste tester, so presumably he died after eating something Donald Trump was supposed to eat. With the Foreign Intelligence Service further noting that it has now placed Donald Trump, this is the Russian intelligence service, placing Donald Trump on its official death watch of expected soon to be assassinated American political leaders, like President John F. Kennedy was on 10th of June 1963. After he, like Trump, has just done, tried to make peace with Russia, that was quickly followed by thousands of wanted for treason posters being created calling for President Kennedy's arrest and his then being publicly executed. And that is, once again, being dangerously reenacted with wanted for treason posters being created calling for the arrest of President Trump too. They've given some posters here of what was drawn up when they were calling for Kennedy's arrest, and a similar kind of poster for Donald Trump. So, according to this report, SVR analysts tasked with following the British intelligence service now comical poison charade, they're talking about the poisoning of the citizens in the UK, that has been used to great effect by the West's mainstream propaganda media establishment to slander President Putin and the Russian Federation, became alarmed last week when news reports from the UK emerged fantastically claiming an unknown female Russian assassin was part of a 6-strong person poison hit team attempting to kill their targets with a poison-filled perfume bottle. Now, as I said, I don't know how reliable this website is and where it gets its sources from, but it plays along a narrative that isn't unbelievable. If you look at how the indictments from Robert Mueller came at the time when Donald Trump was going to meet Putin, if you look at the um, the Senate and what they did in relation to Russia as Donald Trump met Putin, as I said before, it was clear that they didn't want Donald Trump and Putin to meet, and they did in secret. So my thinking, if I'm thinking like Donald Trump, and if I'm listening to the words that he's used throughout his campaign and throughout his presidency, it's clear that he doesn't trust any of the intelligence services for one reason or another. You can either look at it like he doesn't trust them because they know something about him, or he doesn't trust them because he knows something about them. So, it's difficult to really decipher without having the raw facts and only having to rely on, media, which if you're listening to CNN, you're getting the leftist side, and if you're listening to Fox, you're getting the right side. There doesn't seem to be a mainstream media outlet that provides a balanced view of what's going on and really hardcore, reliable sources that, wouldn't mind identifying themselves in some cases. But, there is a point to be made about anonymous sources. You really don't know who's saying it. And at the end of the day, the only way to verify what someone is saying in relation to these sources is to go out and ask someone else. And, if there's a scheme of people, say like 7 people scheme together to say the same thing, then they become reliable sources, which is not true. So you have to be careful about what you hear and what you take in. Having said all that, after all of that, Russia then tested its new invincible missile, kind of like a signal, not to Donald Trump per se, but to the United States Congress and to the Senate and to the world, basically to show that the road that they're going down is leading straight to what most people term as World War III. But while I was looking at this image of Donald Trump here in this video, I was noticing the byline they use here, which is I can only get a bit of it, meets with cabinet amid Putin summit fallout. And obviously one of the things I'm looking at is a volcano like killer whale being purposefully erupted, possibly by a bomb or a nuclear weapon of some kind, nuclear missile. And I just found it interesting that they're using this kind of phrasing. So I looked up summit, and just to kind of define what it means, the summit is the highest point of a hill or mountain. It's also commonly associated with volcanoes. Fallout is the radioactive dust in the air after a nuclear explosion. Again, also associated with volcanoes. In the interpretation that I've done, it would balance with a volcano being erupted by a nuclear weapon. That would be summit, fallout, all covered in one. If we believe that the media and all these different outlets put subliminal messaging right in front of our face, then it's possible that that could be a subliminal message, or it could be nothing. But with all the things I'm watching, I'll pay attention to pretty much everything, but kind of sift through it to find what really may make sense. And then you've got this, which I found interesting: artificial meteor showers displays. Oh, sorry, let me say that again. Artificial meteor shower displays are coming, or they may already be here. As you know, when they talk about these things, often they already have at least a prototype already made. So Tokyo-based ALE has created microsatellites that release tiny orbs that glow brightly when they enter the atmosphere, simulating the dazzling spectacle of a meteor shower. The chemicals involved are apparently a closely guarded secret, but each satellite is able to carry 400 balls, enough for 20 to 30 meteor events, which can be tinkered with to produce multicolored stars. Each star will burn for several seconds before being completely burned up, long before they're close enough to Earth to pose any danger. And this just instantly made me think of, the Great Deception, and how they've been, over the last couple of months, with everything from the Google Doodles to the iPad Goat video to the mainstream media and everything else. They've been pushing this biblical narrative, bombings in Virginia or between Virginia and Maryland. You've got the Virgin Mary there, and symbolic, like, birthing rituals and things like they had with the can't remember exactly what it was called, but they had the like the tsunami thing displayed on the UN Plaza. So when I just looked at this, I thought, it seems to me that they may be gearing up to, or at least simulate, a meteor shower. For what purpose? You can take a guess, but if you want to, relate it to a biblical perspective, then you've got the part of the Bible that talks about the third of the stars being wiped out of the sky by the tail of the dragon. And it could be that technology like this will be used to, excuse me, technology like this will be used to simulate that kind of thing, in order to deceive people into thinking that it's actually happening, when it's not. So I thought I'd just bring that little bit of tech news to you guys to make sure that you're aware that they are able to create these kind of illusions, which we need to be aware of so that we are not deceived by them. And in relation to artificial meteors, another thing that I forgot to mention in the iPad Goat video, where I broke down everything connected to the 27th and August the 3rd, on the 27th of August, there appears to be a connection to some kind of asteroid, meteor, or, planet, some kind, I don't know. But this thing here, this always has appeared to me to be some form of meteor moving towards the sun. The golden circle is the sun. That's the representation there. This video was created by a company called Heliofont, which literally means sun child. So, that's their focus. Not only is it there, but you get a kind of similar depiction with the end scene and these fireballs or meteors coming from behind the sun. And you see one there. I'm sure there's more, if I can remember this video right. But there we go. That's pretty much what they're depicting there. Something either coming from behind the sun or crashing into the sun, or something in relation to a meteor asteroid type thing. And one more place they put it right at the end of the video, just in case you missed it throughout the rest of it. The Heliofont, the actual words and the way that the dot of the I moves across to the emphasized O, which is again a representation of the sun contained in the word helio, which means sun. So they clearly have something moving across at that time. Now, I don't know if that's going to happen during July 27th with the blood moon, or August the 3rd, or if it happens after August the 3rd. This could be like the climax to their ultimate destruction plans. So again, it could be a real asteroid, or it could be something artificial, like they have here. The explosion could obviously be a nuclear detonation rather than an actual meteor impact. So you guys, that's it. Wanted to bring all that information to you. Hope it was useful. Again, still keeping an eye out for Donald Trump. If anything happens to him, then these events are more likely to happen. So with that said, have a good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and may the Heavenly Father bless you.